Let your fingers relax. Feel the music.
Okay, like this? Yes, good. Now try this phrase. I feel it.
Let your fingers relax. Feel the music.
Okay, like this? Yes, good. Now try this phrase. I feel it.
The piano room was always quiet at this hour, the kind of quiet that didn't feel empty but patient, like it was waiting to listen. He came every evening after work, sleeves rolled up, fingers slightly tense as if the day still lived inside them. At 25, his life felt loud everywhere else, phones buzzing, expectations pressing, people always asking what came next. Here, the piano softened him. She usually arrived a few minutes later, moving slowly but confidently, her presence calm without trying to be. At 55, she carried time differently, not as a burden but as a collection of moments she had already survived. She never interrupted when he played. She simply sat nearby, closing her eyes, letting the notes reach places words never had. In that shared silence, something gentle began to form, not attraction at first, but recognition. As if both of them sensed that the piano was becoming more than an instrument, it was turning into a bridge. Their conversations started between songs, never rushed. He talked about uncertainty, about feeling young yet tired, about dreams that felt too big and too fragile at the same time. She listened the way people rarely do, without fixing, without judging. When she spoke, it was about patience, about loving things slowly, about learning that timing mattered more than intensity. He noticed how her hands rested near the keys, steady and sure, shaped by years of practice and loss and persistence. She noticed how his music changed when she was there, growing softer, more intentional. The age between them hovered like an unspoken truth, but it didn't feel like a wall. Instead, it felt like space where they could meet without pressure, without labels. The piano filled the pauses so neither of them had to rush into saying what they didn't yet understand. Some evenings, they played together, for hands moving carefully, respectfully, as if afraid to disturb the fragile harmony they were building. He learned to slow down, to let notes breathe. She learned to trust again, to allow closeness without fear of demand. Their love did not announce itself, it unfolded quietly, like a melody you only notice once it has already settled into your heart. There were glances held a second longer than necessary, smiles that carried gratitude instead of desire, and moments where silence said more than any confession could. They never pretended the world would understand. They didn't need it to. What mattered was the way the piano room held them both, unchanged by age, expectation, or time. Outside that room, life stayed complicated. He still faced questions about his future, about where he belonged, about who he should become. She still carried memories of endings, of promises that once sounded eternal. Yet when they returned to the piano, those worries softened. He found comfort in her steadiness, she found renewal in his curiosity. Their love was not about fixing each other but about witnessing, watching someone exist fully and choosing to stay. The years between them didn't disappear, but they lost their power. Music doesn't count age, and neither did the way their hearts leaned gently toward one another. In the end, there was no dramatic declaration, no single moment that defined what they were. Their love lived in repetition, in shared evenings, familiar melodies, and the quiet understanding that some connections don't need permission to be real. As the last notes faded each night, they sat together, unafraid of the silence. Between the keys, between the years, something rare had found its place. Not loud. Not rushed. Just true.
If you like my content, please don't forget to like my videos and subscribe my channel for more videos.